Here you go. A nice little gift of work for a loner like you who doesn't get any action. Not like you've got anything better to do, right?
Wait, your basket. You cook?
So what if I do? Just let me go home already. My name is Otoya Kujo. I'm 25, working in sales admin at the ad agency Bing. My academic background is somewhere between above average and below elite. My hobbies are cooking, music, and movies. Pretty indoor stuff. A classic introvert. I don't hate my job, if it weren't for him. Hey, Kujo! I was planning to head to the movies after work today. Here you go. A nice little gift of work for a loner like you who doesn't get any action. Not like you've got anything better to do, right? What? I've already finished my own tasks, and I've got plans after this, so... That's Kazuki Tsuji. Claims he was a hardcore delinquent back in school. He's my colleague and fellow entry-level employee, but acts like he owns the place. Huh? Hey, Kujo. You're not seriously thinking I'm handing off work to you for my sake, are you? No, I didn't say that. Tsuji-san grins and throws an arm around my shoulder like we're close buddies. You and me? Totally different levels of man, bro. Even if we've got the same hours, a wimp like you won't get anything productive done. Just look at my jacked body compared to your scrawny little twig. Says it all. You're never gonna be like me no matter how hard you try, so just bury yourself in work. Bosses might actually notice you, and hey, maybe you'll even accidentally get married someday. He dumped a stack of papers on my desk and laughed his way out. It's not like I said I wanted to get married, or have a girlfriend or anything. Whatever. Let's just get it done.
Kujo-san, I'll help you out. It's infuriating, right? If only the section chief weren't like that.
Section Chief Hanako Sakuragi is great at her job, but totally conflict avoidant and selfishly romance obsessed. She thinks she's keeping it a secret, but everyone knows she's involved with Tsuji. Thanks, I appreciate it.
Things weren't this bad when the department head was around. But ever since he left on long-term business, she's been acting like she owns the place.
Yeah, let's just power through and finish this today. On my next day off, I went to the local supermarket. I started cooking to save money, but now it's totally become my hobby. And today, there's something else I'm looking forward to. Yuki-san, good to hear from you. I'm at the supermarket again. Pork's on sale today.
What a coincidence! I'm here too. I just started learning to cook. By the way, how was that movie yesterday?
Actually, the same coworker dumped work on me again, so I couldn't go. I'm chatting with Snow White, someone I met through social media who I really clicked with. I call her Yuki-san. She used to be a gal, so we seem like opposites, but we share similar tastes in movies and music. She works nights, so our schedules rarely align, but I often find myself turning to her for advice now.
Again? Have you tried talking to your boss?
The thing is, my section chief and the guy are kinda close. Even when we complain, no one takes us seriously.
That's ridiculous. They shouldn't be allowed to get away with that. You should speak up or go above her.
While we were chatting, I almost bumped into a woman coming from the opposite direction. Oh, sorry. Wait, huh?
No, my bad. Guess texting while walking's a bad idea.
We stop, staring at each other for a few seconds. Wait, what are you doing here?
You're...
Totally someone else, right? Anyway, I gotta go!
Hold it. You're Otoya Kujo, right? It's me, your old classmate, Suzune Shirayuki. Why are you running?
Because I do remember you! That's why I'm running! She's Suzune Shirayuki, my classmate back in high school, and a full-on delinquent. She was a lone wolf, not the bowling in a group type, but tough and defiant as hell. As a scrawny little introvert, I was terrified of her and avoided her completely.
Wait, your basket. You cook?
So what if I do? Just let me go home already.
Hey Kujo, I've got a favor. Since you're good at cooking, can you teach me? Prices are getting rough, so I thought I'd try making stuff myself, but it's not going well.
Really? Why not ask one of your friends?
Friends? I've maybe got one? I just moved back here, so I don't really know anyone yet.
She says it like it's nothing, and she probably means it. Maybe Suzune is more like me than I thought? I start to feel a strange sense of connection, but even so, should I really say yes to this? While I'm hesitating, Suzune grabs my wrist.
That's why. You're all I've got, Kujo. I need your help. I want to make croquets.
Wait! I never said I'll teach you! And croquettes? That's way too hard for beginner. We should start with something easier. Yeah, she's definitely nothing like me after all. In the end, since my place was closer, she ended up coming over and cooking at my place. How did it come to this? So our impromptu cooking class began. First up, I asked her to try making a rolled omelet, and well...
Behold, Kujo, this is my true skill.
Before me was a tragic excuse for rolled omelet, billowing black smoke. It
might look like that, but it's actually good. Bird food can be tasty, you know.
What? You're eating that?
Of course. Would be a waste to throw it away. If you chew it like 100 times, you get the faint sweetness for a second. They say it's like tasting the other side of flavor.
That sounds suspiciously like something a comedian said once.
But honestly, I'm getting tired of eating charcoal every time. Please, Kujo, teach me how to cook something normal.
Even with Shirayuki-san pleading like that, I couldn't nod right away. Part of me was still scared of her ex-delinquent aura, but...
So it's a no, huh? Figures. I knew it was a pain to ask.
Now I feel guilty. And at this rate, she really might be eating charcoal for the rest of her life. Moved by her unexpectedly quiet tone, I gave her a small nod. Then...
Thanks, Kujo!
Shirayuki-san instantly bounced back with full energy. Wait, was that soft act just an act?
Besides croquets, I want to learn tonkatsu, karaage, and stuffed cabbage rolls too. Come on, teach me already, Kujo-sensei.
Why is it all high difficulty stuff? Start with something simpler. And so, half forced into it, I ended up teaching Shirayuki-san how to cook on a regular basis. Since she works at a bar and our schedules don't match, we would usually video call during her lunch break for support. When our days off aligned, we would cook together at either of our homes. Wait, Shirayuki-san, you like this band? They broke up like 20 years ago.
I liked the theme song from Ei no Koi. I listen to it on rainy days when I go for walks.
As I got more used to spending time with her, I started realizing we had a lot in common hobby-wise. Not just music, movies, art, in a lot of areas, we shared surprisingly similar tastes. I genuinely enjoyed my time with her. And now that she had improved her cooking, she would even give me portions of what she made. Turns out she's surprisingly thoughtful too. But lately, something's been on my mind.
I recently ran into an old classmate, and I was really happy to find out he shares a lot of my interests. And yours too. We never even talked back in the day. Life really is full of surprises, huh?
No way. Yuki-san would actually be... Hey, Kujo! Rejoice! Brought you some more work, just for you. Time to score some points again, yeah? That day, Tsuji-san tried to dump his work on me again. I thought things had finally calmed down. Tsuji-san, this is your responsibility, isn't it? The moment I said that... Tsuji-san's fist slammed onto my desk. I told you before, I'm doing this for your sake, so don't get the wrong idea. Crap. Just like Yuki-san said, I should say something clearly. Even though I knew I should stand up for myself, I still couldn't find the words. Then, our section chief walked over, acting like she would graciously step in.
Now, you two, that's enough, okay? Suji-kun can be a bit harsh with words, but I think he means well. He's always been doing things you don't see behind the scenes. So Kujo-kun, be supportive, okay? I'm sure this'll help you grow too.
I knew our section chief understands me best.
That's not... I always see how hard Sujo-kun works.
Seriously, she always does this. Everyone witnessing it just sighed in disbelief. Even if we report Suji's behavior, instead of scolding him, the section chief always covers for him and makes things worse. He's good at sucking up to higher-ups in HR too, so outside the sales director, people take her word over ours. Anyway, I'm super busy, so leave the rest to you, Kujo. On our next day off, I heard Yuki-san was struggling to choose cooking tools, so I worked up the nerve to invite her out. We shared our outfit details to recognize each other, and I waited nervously. But the person who showed up was Shirayuki-san.
No way. This can't be real.
I thought it might be, but wow.
Well, this is a surprise, but you're still hanging out with me today, right?
After shopping, we watched a movie, then dropped by the bar where Shirayuki-san works.
Today was really fun, but I seriously never expected Snow White to be you, Kujo. When I saw you in person, I was relieved you weren't totally different from the image I had.
Same here. Finding out Snow White and Shirayuki-san were the same person honestly made me happy. But you can talk all polite and proper like that too, huh?
I'm an adult. Of course I can use honorifics. By the way, how's work been lately? That coworker of yours still being a pain?
Yeah, about that. I told Shirayuki-san about what happened recently and the current situation at work.
I see. The issue with your section chief is one thing, but having your department head gone on long-term assignment sucks too.
Yeah, if only I could speak up to my coworkers more firmly.
Nah, I think you've already shown plenty of courage, Kujo.
Huh?
The old Kujo wouldn't have even tried to speak up to coworkers, or invited Snow White off on a day off, right? For you, that's huge progress. I think you could go even further next time.
You think so? If that's true, then maybe it's thanks to you.
Then I'd say the same. I wouldn't have learned to cook without your help. Thanks, Kujo.
Then Shirayuki asked this.
Hey, by the way, what company do you work for again?
An ad agency called Being.
Seriously? That's near my place. If I get better at cooking, maybe I'll drop off some food sometime.
Really? That would be awesome. Thanks. Yo, Kujo. A few days later at work, Tsuji-san called my name again. Tsuji-san, what is it? Hey, buddy. I've got work only you can do again today. I've got other stuff you can't handle. Tsuji-san, I'm not going to help you with your work anymore. Come on now. No need for all that talk. Let's not waste each other's time, yeah? I'm counting on ya. Just like always, Tsuji-san threw his arm over my shoulder and snorted. If you've got a problem, say it straight. Whining like a baby's annoying. Sorry. I nearly apologized by habit, but bit my tongue.
The old Kujo wouldn't have even tried to speak up to coworkers, or invited Snow White out on a day off, right? For you, that's huge progress. I think you can go even further next time.
Her words, filled with heat, echoed clearly in my mind. I want to be someone she and I can both be proud of. Got it. Then let me say it clearly. Huh? I'm not going to help you with your work ever again. What? Do you even know what you're saying? Even someone like me has someone who believes I'm brave. To live up to that person's faith in me, I'm going to face you head on, with everything I've got. You, don't screw with me, acting all tough, Kujo. Kazuki growls. If he tries to turn this into a physical fight, I'm prepared to take legal action. But just then...
Kujo-san's right. Stop making excuses and do your own work. What do you mean for your sake? You're just trying to take it easy for yourself.
Yeah! Everyone's supposed to take responsibility for their own work. That's basic, right? If you need help from others, then ask for it properly, like an adult. Other coworkers start complaining too, giving Kazuki cold stares. He looks around, searching for Hanako to bail him out, but she's out at a meeting. Then, look here, I don't care how much you all whine, the section chief's on my side. Don't think you've won.
I remember this!
Huh? Shouting that, Kazuki took off running. Did he forget about the work he brought?
What just happened?
I'm not totally sure either. Wait, was that the real him? Damn it, this is such crap. I can't believe I, of all people, got humiliated by those nobodies. I found out later that Kazuki's tough guy act was all for show. He had never been in a real fight. Back in school, he was just a lackey for the bad kids, puffing himself up only when dealing with people weaker than him. Screw this! I'm gonna grab something from the convenience store. Stomping his feet, Kazuki tried to storm outside, only to crash into someone just beyond the automatic doors. Watch it, asshole! You blind?
Huh? You're the one who should watch it.
Hey!
The fury in Shirayuki-san's eyes and voice made Kazuki collapse on the spot.
I'm here to drop off food for a friend. You're in the way, move it!
I'm sorry!
Like she had no use for him anymore, Shirayuki-san walked into the building as Kazuki sat there, clutching his sore back and sniffing. Weeks later, both Kazuki and the section chief were summoned by the sales director, who had returned from long-term assignment. Do you know what this is about?
No clue. He said he wanted to talk right after coming back.
If something goes wrong, I'm counting on you. You're all I've got, Hanako.
Kazuki-kun. Oh, that makes me so happy. But I'm sure he just wants to thank us for holding down the fort, right?
Trying to escape reality, they clung to the hopeful fantasy. But
Wow. Seems like a lot happened while I was away. Alright, why don't you two explain everything? Sakuragi Kacho? Suji-kun?
she had in front of her numerous complaints from staff. With undeniable proof like recordings, it exposed everything the two of them had been doing. Yes, weeks ago, she had reached out, and we spent our time collecting all the evidence.
Kacho!
Please forgive me. I was scared of Kazuki-kun. I had no choice.
Don't pin this all on me! You acted like you understood everything I said!
Come on. A man like you should be willing to take fall for someone you love, right?
Huh? Don't flatter yourself! I only got close to you to use you for my own promotion!
That's awful. So all those sweet words were lies. Silence. While I was gone, you two treated the sales department like your personal playground and abused the staff. This kind of behavior is absolutely unacceptable. We'll be holding the HR director who turned a blind eye accountable too. Prepare for consequences.
Yes, ma'am.
After dealing with Kazuki and the section chief, the director came over to me.
Sorry for everything you had to go through. You came to me right away, and I did try to warn them, but from afar, this is what happened.
It's not like we employees just sat and took it. We contacted her immediately and had her give direct instructions or reassign jobs where she could. That short period when Kazuki backed off was right after the director gave him a warning. No thank you. We really appreciate how fast you acted, even with everything on your plate. After that, the section chief and Kazuki were effectively fired for what they have done. Higher-ups like the HR director, who blindly trusted the section chief, were also formally punished for negligence. And then...
Kazuki-kun, tell me it's not true. You did not love me.
Hey, please stop!
Word spreads fast in this industry. Neither of them had found new jobs. Kazuki tried to ditch his former lover once she had no more use to him, but she refused to let go. Things escalated until the police had to get involved. The former section chief was arrested. Kazuki, deeply traumatized by it all, reportedly had a breakdown and was now hospitalized. Yuki-san, can I talk to you about something? Is now okay? Ever since we started talking directly, we hadn't used social media much. I hadn't opened the chat in a while.
Yeah, I'm free. What's up?
Actually, I think I'm in love with someone.
Oh? What kind of person?
Kinda rough around the edges, pushy, a little sloppy maybe.
And that's what you like?
That's part of the charm. But they've got a strong sense of justice, and they're really sincere. They're awkward but cute, and when I'm with them, I feel like I can truly be myself, even though we're nothing alike. Suzune grips her phone tightly. Suddenly, the doorbell rings. She flings the door open, and there I am, holding flowers. Shirayuki-san. I mean, Suzune-san. Even though I prepared all this, seeing her face in person made me freeze. But I couldn't keep her waiting. I took a deep breath and spoke. I like you. Will you go out with me? Sparkling tears fell from Suzune's eyes like stardust. Our personalities, our paths, everything about us was completely opposite. And yet, whether online or in person, we were drawn to each other.
What even is this? I like you too, Otoya. Let's keep cooking together. And I want you to keep eating my food, okay?
You can't make people follow you with force. But if you treat them with respect and gratitude, then maybe, just maybe, you can change the future into something close to your ideal.
Hello, Brittany here. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!